welcome to my channel, The Moody Pages. Today we're going to be doing this makeup look and talking about books I read in May. I went into a little reading slump, so you'll see where I went, and then I just listened to straight up audiobooks. We are focusing on using this eyeshadow palette today, and I'm like in love. So let's get on with it. Alright, good morning. Let's get into this. I am gonna start with priming the face. And by primer, I always do this Tower 28, what do you call it? Tinted sunscreen. It usually holds my makeup really well, and it gives like an extra coverage of makeup. I'm still waking up. But you can see my face is like kind of red. This kind of just helps even it out and gives an extra added layer of sunscreen to the already layer of sunscreen that I do. Okay, so May, a whirlwind of emotions. It's been a really good month. And then there was one book I read, and I feel like it just was such like an epic book. And when I say epic, I mean like it was just literally such a heavy book, very, very good book. And it just threw the rest of my reading off because it was like I was suffering from like a severe hangover from a book. But I've never had a hangover before, so I don't really know if I can compare it to that, but it was rough. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where to put my eyeshadow palette. I want to do something new. I got some new makeup from Lunar Beauty, and one of them being this eyeshadow palette. And look at how pretty this is. This Meteor shade, when swatched, it's like holographic and like duochrome. So it's not holographic, it's duochrome. So pretty. So I want to try and play with that. I don't really know how, but I want to. I'm gonna have to get out of my comfort zone for this. So yesterday I attempted to start filming, and first off, the dogs, insane. And then second off, I forgot my eyeshadow palette, and so I had to use one of my daughter's like one of the old makeup eyeshadow palettes that I gave her, and it worked fine. It's just not what I wanted, you know? And the corgi, he ended up trying to eat my setting powder, my Laura Mercier setting powder. So that was kind of gross, and it was kind of funny to watch him like inhale all this stuff and realize that he made a mistake. Man. So that's kind of funny. Okay. So I need to start telling you what kind of books I read in May. I just at the preface that it was a crazy month. Okay, literally started and finished the same day, May 1st, Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I am such a big fan of Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm gonna zoom in real quick. Just for the eyes. Forever Interrupted, it's about this girl who she like met this guy, and they like fell in love super like fast, and they got married, and within 9 days of them being married, he dies. So it's just a very emotional book. Like the death happens like the first page, you know, like the first chapter essentially, and it was just really sad. I really enjoyed the book. I feel as if Taylor Jenkins Reid just knows how to really write emotional heavy hitters, like they hit close to home on certain fears and whatever. Super good. Okay, the next one I read was City of Nightmares by Rebecca Schaeffer. I'm trying to think of, okay, so literally if you fall, you have to take like this medication that helps you not have nightmares, because if you have a nightmare, you can literally turn into the nightmare and kill people. So kind of dramatic, right? Like, oof, okay. Let me do some swatching real quick. I'm gonna take this rose thorn shade, which is right here, the little rose one. I'm gonna swatch that, and I'm gonna put it right here. Okay. Here's that Meteor shade that I really want to use, and I'm gonna put it right next to it to see if it goes well. Like, it might be able to be a good topper, and I think it might. So let me put it on top. I think that is pretty. So maybe I can just do full-blown eye as that. Okay. Okay, anyways, this book, You Turn Into a Nightmare, and this girl's sister, we think now, anyways, her sister turned into a nightmare and died and killed her dad. Like, literally ate him. It was kind of like a gross depiction and sad depiction. And that was pretty good. The book, not that scene. The next book I read was Fated Throne, the 6th book in the Zodiac Academy series. And that didn't put me, okay, so I have some on my fingers and I just want to kind of press it in versus like, because then it gives it more of a sparkle versus just straight up pigment, like how straight this was. And to me, I like when I press pigment in, it gives more of a glossy effect. Try this Summer Sky and see how it looks. Maybe we can do like a gradual thing. I should have done this after. I should have done this blending before the pigment. Now I'm gonna go back into this dusk shade with a bigger fluffy brush, and gonna do windshield wiper motions up top to kind of help blend all of these shades together. I'm gonna do some eyeliner, just lightly line my eyes and put on mascara and lashes, and I'll be back. Okay, so the eyes are done and I think they look super pretty. I can't wait. I'm gonna do a little bit on the bottom lash line, and then I'm thinking that maybe add like one of these two to the inner corners. We'll see. Okay. The eyeshadow palette fell. Okay. So next, let's go into some foundation. We're gonna use this Makeup by Mario, and I really like using it with a sponge. I feel, so let me show you the brush I use for foundation. This is the brush I use for foundation, and I feel like it's not good anymore. Like, there's just something about it that's just not making me happy, like how it gives the coverage. So I've just been using a sponge again when I was a brush girl for so long. So that kind of is interesting. Okay, the next book, I read my first Sophie Lark book and I'm so excited about it, and I need to read the second one. So this one that I read was There Are No Saints, and this is a spicy serial killer romance, and it was so good. It was not what I was expecting. I guess I don't, what do you expect with the serial killer romance, you know? But I read that in a day. Like, right, let me look at the dates that I read. Yep, same, like, I started reading, I think, in the morning, and I read all afternoon, and then I finished in the evening. And it's been so long since I have just sat down like that and read a book within like hours. So that was such a nice little treat, you know, like, okay, yay, I actually sat down and read. That made me feel good. So I gave that one 5 stars because that was just phenomenal. The rest I've been giving 4. We're looking good. We're looking good. I'm gonna put on some concealer now. Concealer, I'm just using this Maybelline Age Rewind. So the next book I listened to was Legendary, which is the second book of the Caraval series with Stephanie Garber. And I love this series so far. It's a little trilogy, so if you want to like give it a whirl, it's only 3 books, not a big commitment. Says me that has not read the 3rd book yet. But it was like really good. I think I liked it better than the first one. There's something about it that's just so whimsical and magical, and it's also I realized that she likes her mythology, because this also has some mythology in it, and it threw me off because I was like, I could have sworn I just read Once Upon a Broken Heart, and by her are these related. They're not related. She just likes her mythology with one character. Now we're gonna put on some bronzer. We're gonna use this Makeup by Mario one. This next book I listened to, and it started my my other makeup video, which was Makeup and Memoirs. This book I listened to was Viola Davis's Finding Me. Oof, that was so good. It was such a heavy, emotional book, and I originally was going to focus on just her memoir in this that Makeup and Memoirs thing. I was just focusing on hers, but she has such deep conversations, like deep topics and hard topics to cover. I just didn't feel like I was conveying her message well, and I was like, okay, you know what? I've read a bunch of memoirs this year. Let's go ahead and just combine all of these memoirs in one. And we'll name it like Makeup and Memoirs. But she is the inspiration for that. Okay, we are looking nice and bronzed and good. Oh wait, I think it says I have like 4 minutes left, so oof, I need to hurry. Okay, blush. I am gonna use this little cream right here, and this is their like Petal Poppin' shade, which is funny because I also have this trio from One Size Beauty, which also has very similar shades, except this is what I was hoping for in powder form, and like in cream. This one's a little more cool tone. This one's a little more warm. Anyways, okay. See, book wise, the next book I read is what set me on the book hangover, which was Heir of Fire from the Throne of Glass series. It was so good, so sad, so heavy. I cried and just like literally felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders reading it. So good, so sad. And then I read Bow Before the Elf Queen. I listened to that one. Also pretty good. I felt like it was your generic fantasy, which, I mean, is fine. Hold on. I deleted some video that I attempted to start yesterday, so hopefully I got a little bit more time left. But I'm going in with this Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, or Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter. I did go over with some bronzer to kind of like help set that bronzer using my Chocolate Soleil. I don't think I necessarily need more blush on top per se, but I can go over just a little bit. Okay, actually that was really pretty. Good idea. Okay, let's see here. Okay, well, the next book I read it, was The Last Word It was a book of the month pick. Okay, so let me tell you what it's about before we get to the irony of it, okay? So what this book is about is this girl goes to some like beach and is like house sitting, and her neighbor tells her to read this one book. And she's like, man, this is an awful book, and she gives it a 1 star. The author of the book ends up seeing the 1 star review and asks her to take it down. She says no, and now we think that she is being stalked by this author and might be the victim of a murder. You know, like, we'll see. The irony is that this book was awful to me. Like, this book was not for me. I thought the premise of it sounded so good, and I was so invested in the beginning because I was like, okay, this is really good. I am really enjoying it. And then the middle happened where we started getting into the POV of the author. They lost me. They lost me on there. I was like, what is going on? And I heard some people's reviews are that his point of view is fun, it's chaos, and that it's unhinged. Yes, it is unhinged in the worst way possible, in my opinion. It was just not to me it was not a good time. Okay, and it says we're still down to 3 minutes, whatever. Okay, the next book I read was Hooked by Emily McIntyre, and that was really good. That was a spicy retelling of Peter Pan, and it caught me off guard because it was really good. And then the next one was You Shouldn't Have Come Here. I listened to that one, man, and that one also sucked by. I love Geneva Rose. Like, her books have been so good to me, but sucked. There was nothing redeeming about it, in my opinion. Nothing. Don't even bother. And then I unknowingly started another memoir, Crying in H Mart, and I did not know that that was a memoir, even though it literally says memoir on the cover. I did not know that it was, because I'm dumb. And that was really good, really heartbreaking, really like traumatizing. But it was good. It was good. So the next book I listened to was The House Across the Lake, and I'm not sure what to rate it, and because I remember thinking, man, this is so freaking good, and then thinking, this is so dumb. Like, as soon as you bring in like magical stuff to be your scapegoat of saving this story, I'm done. Okay, I got 2 books left. The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Clarissa Broadbent. I wanted to love this so much. Like, it is taken over so many people, like taken over Instagram quite a bit. And oh no, okay, I literally just did a lip mask while I was like trying to get the dog to stop barking. Okay, I'm going in with a lip liner. This is from Lunar Beauty. Milk Tea. And then I'm gonna go in with his lipstick from Lunar Beauty. And then just look at the detail on that. Can you see? Well, we're being an influencer right now. There's like a lot of detail right there. Anyways, I'm in a reading slump. So all the rest of the books I just listed were listened, like audiobooks. The Serpent and the Wings of Night, that was a physical read book, and I didn't love it as much as I wanted to, and I think had I not been in a reading slump, I would have loved this book because it's everything I want. It has vampires, a great female lead, but I just wasn't in it. Like, I just didn't really connect to the characters as much as I wanted to, which hurt and kind of sucked. And there were times towards the end that I was like, okay, no, this is actually good. It was the last 25% of the book, which if the only part of the book that's getting me through the end is the last 25% of the book, I don't think it's that great, you know? And then the last book I listened to was What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall, and that was really good. Very good thriller. The thrillers kind of held me through this reading slump, like audio-wise. I'm just starting to come out of the reading slump. I'm slowly but surely getting back into reading. I'm currently reading TJ Klune's In the Lives of Puppets, and that one's just good and wholesome, good fun stuff. Okay, so to top it off, I either have this Tower 28 or the Lunar Beauty, and they're both very different. Let me show you on my palm. And they both are just like oils, essentially. It doesn't feel sticky or anything. So those are kind of like the colors. You know, for the sake of like Lunar Beauty and using products today, that's pretty. And my lips smell so good, oh my gosh. Ah, I love it. Okay, so this was my reading slump of a month, and I think maybe it might show in June. I'm not sure yet. It's only June 4th right now, so there's potential for me to come out of it and like really start reading left and right. Audiobooks I'm enjoying, so that's great. I'm very excited that I like those still. But physical books, I'm just, ugh, no thank you. Alright guys, this is the final look. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!